welcome to Personal Finance Thursdays. I hope you're having an amazing week. Today, I want to share 5 key lessons that I have learned that allowed me to develop the proper mindset when it comes to investing. And these are lessons that you should also, try to have, because if you have the right mindset when it comes to investing, then you actually will do fine. You'll make money, you'll be fine, you'll not stress when others are stressing because you have a plan. So I hope these lessons will help you in your journey to building sustainable wealth for you and your family. So lesson number 1 is this: time is actually money. Like, the amount of time that your money has in the market is what determines how much you have and how much you will make. You see, if you only buy a stock or shares today and then you sell it tomorrow, you're not going to make a lot of money, except if it's an exceptional case of a stock just skyrocketing in a day. But those who have built wealth, real sustainable wealth, have built it over time, over several years, and some even decades. So the earlier you start investing, the better. If you start today, then your money has more time to work for you. But if you start tomorrow, then your money has less time. They say the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is today. So you have to think like that. Time is money. Every time you're not in the market, you're losing out on the potential gains from the market. Okay. Number 2, generational wealth versus making a quick buck. You see, let's go serious a little bit. Everybody wants to be rich, right? Everyone wants to make wealth. We talk about sustainable wealth, generational wealth, but we have the mentality of making a quick buck. So quick gains, chasing quick gains. That's why cryptocurrency is huge, because people are speculating. They want to make quick money. That's why we have something called meme stocks that rise up very quickly and then crash, right? Because people want quick money. Quick money, quick money, quick money. That's why there's so many scams, so many Ponzi schemes. But you cannot use quick money to make generational wealth. You cannot use a mindset of quick money to make generational wealth. You see, you should have the mindset of, I'm investing not just for me, but for my children and my children's children. I'm buying these companies, these shares, and I'm going to hold them until I retire and even pass them on to my kids. That's how you should be thinking. What can you invest in today that you will hand down over to your kids? See, let's say you wanted to buy a house. Would you just walk around the place and look for a flashy house, buy it, and then the very next day try to sell? No. You will take your time to think, what kind of house do I want? Where do I want to live? How easy is it to sell? How easy is it to buy? You think about different things. Can my kids live in it? Can I pass it down to them? That's generational wealth thinking. That's how you should think when it comes to the stock market. You're investing for generations, not just for you. And you're not investing to just make a quick buck and that's it. If you have the mindset of making a quick buck, I can bet with you're going to make many mistakes. And when the market drops, you're going to sell. And then you buy back when it goes back high, which means you miss a lot of the gains and you will not be able to make money for the long term. Number 3, simplicity is the best. You see, I see lots of people that they want to have 100 different stocks in their portfolio, or different things, commodities, crypto, precious metals, different stocks, 500 stocks even. Like, I see people that have all these different things in their portfolio and like, man, you can't even keep track of that. That's so much to keep track of. Simplicity is key. If you want to invest in the stock market, that's why I always recommend to people and I advise people like, hey, ETFs are the best, exchange traded funds. They're the best way to invest, because you buy this one fund and it gives you, a slice of all these companies, rather than you buying 100 different companies and you're trying to manage it and you have like 10 different investment accounts and you're chasing this, crypto coin today and this one tomorrow, and you're just all over the place. And by the way, I'm not against cryptocurrency, but it's one of the things that people go crazy about today, where they chase crazy things. They don't really think about the fundamentals. There's some cryptos that have good fundamentals behind them. So yeah, you can go for those. But the mentality of investing for young, especially for young people today, is about chasing the next high, speculative, and trying to get as many as possible. But that's not the way life works. Keep it simple. It's simplicity. If you're investing in individual stocks, which I don't recommend unless you really, really know what you're doing, then you don't want to have, a hundred different individual stocks. You want to have maximum 20, maybe even 30, you know. And most really good investors will probably have like 5 to 10, and that's it. So you have to think, how can I keep it so simple and so stress-free that I know what I'm doing, everything is automated and it's done, and I'm planning for the long term. Number 4, and this is actually the biggest lesson I have learned: consistency is key. Like, I started investing with about $200 several years ago, and I would buy, and then a few weeks later, if it goes down, I'll sell. I was just all over the place, and then I started realizing, man, I need to be consistent, because I realized, like, when I bought a stock and it dropped, if I sold it, if a day or two, a few days later, it went back to a new high, so now I've lost money. So I said to myself, okay, what do I want to invest in? So I found, the Nasdaq 100. That's my favorite. I bought it, and I said, okay, every month I'm going to be dollar cost averaging every single month. Consistency is key, and that's what has allowed my portfolio to grow very, very well and to perform very well. So if you are just chasing everything around the place, and you invest today, then you forget about it for a few months, and you invest again, and you're not paying attention to it, you're not going to make a lot of money, because it's through consistency that you acquire lots of shares. See, putting $1,000 in the stock market or $100 in the stock market to get a few shares is not what's going to make you retire. It's putting $1,000 or $100, doesn't matter the amount, but doing it every single month, year upon year upon year, decades later. That is what makes you get retired. That's what helps you build real wealth. It's not that one-time investment that gives you a few shares that will make you rich. It's the consistency of always investing and staying in the market, staying invested. That is what gets you rich. Now, the last one is to have an owner's mindset. You always have to think, every time I invest in the stock market, I am buying a piece of a company. The last few days I've been buying some, my fund. I've been investing because it's the end of the month. I'm dollar cost averaging. And every time I do it, I'm like, yes, I got new shares of these companies, new shares of this, and I'm so happy. I'm owning a piece of this company. You see, we are often used to the consumer mentality to consume, but we don't think to produce. Let me explain it to you today. I'm sure most of you that are watching this video, you have either an iPhone, a Samsung, or some sort of Android phone, right? So you have the product, you're consuming the product, but how many of you own Apple shares? Most of us use Microsoft Office, but how many of you own Microsoft shares? We like to wear Adidas shoes, we like to wear Nike shoes, we like Louis Vuitton stuff, we like all this fancy stuff, but how many of you actually own those companies that produce them? You have to change to an owner's mentality. Buy companies and hold them. Don't chase only the product. Buy the companies. You're buying a Tesla, but you don't own Tesla shares. Doesn't make any sense. Own the company. You can also own the product, it's fine, but owning the company pays you out in the long term. It's what makes you rich. The product will depreciate in value, but the company will always appreciate as long as it's a very good company. So always think like an owner. Think, okay, I'm buying this and I'm going to hold it. It's making me rich. I own a piece of Tesla. Tesla is working for me. I'm an employer. Tesla is my employee. That's how you should think. If you have these 5 keys, these 5 mindsets, you will do very, very well. So just a quick recap. Number 1, time is money. So start investing today and stay invested for the long term. Number 2, generational wealth versus making a quick buck. Go for generational wealth. Don't chase making quick gains. Go for the long term. Number 3, simplicity is often the best. Just buy a fund and stick with it. That's it. Just buy and invest. And that's it. Don't try to own everything in the market. Okay. Number 4, consistency is the key. Every month invest, or every quarter pick a strategy and be consistent with it, year in, year out, day in, day out, month in, month out. And number 5, have an owner's mentality, not a consumer but an owner. Okay, thank you very much, guys. Just remember to join my Facebook group. It's an invitation to you, Financial Freedom Switzerland. Join it. I will accept you. You can join the community of other like-minded investors and people wanting to build wealth like you and I. And also, don't forget to subscribe, to share, to like this, and to leave a comment. Thank you very much and have an amazing week. Bye bye.